Welcome to Elm Colors. Today is my third weekend WIP, and I have a fun page that I am doing a buddy color with, I think it's Puni Puni Crafts. It might be Puni Puni, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I can't remember exactly how she pronounces it, but I have that to work on, and got some stuff to chat about this morning, so let's get started. Got my lovely cup of tea here. I'm gonna take a sip. Okay, so here's the page that we're working on. It's so cute. I love it so much. This will be the first page that I've done in this book, so I'm excited about that. I've got a few colors picked out, and I thought today I'd start with this girl here. Let me first apologize for my voice. It is early morning here. Excuse me, see. It is early morning here, and I am not feeling the best. I went out with some girlfriends last night and had a couple of beers, and now I'm not feeling so hot. So that's fun. But I still wanted to make sure to get on here and do this. I think that this is it's just a good way to start my weekend. I'm adding a little bit of lavender in here to try to get a little bit of a different shade. I might come in with a darker purple. I've just pulled a couple of colors for this right now. So we'll see how that goes. So I hope everyone is having a good weekend so far. And if it's morning for you, good morning. If it's afternoon, good afternoon. Evening. I sound like, what's that Jim Carrey movie where he says good afternoon, or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, or something like that. The Truman Show, that's the one. That's it, yeah. And, I'm not going to get too detailed on this because most of this is going to be colored pretty cartoon-like. I don't know if you can, everything else is it's bright and fun. I did the background so far of this with Arteza watercolors and a few Arteza pencils. And then I found out about all of the stuff that's been going around about Arteza, and I checked my pencils, and they definitely do the same thing that everybody else's has been doing, where they bleed really bad. Way worse than anything my Prismacolors had done. So I was a little bummed about that, but I think I'm still going to use them. I'm not overly worried about, since I'm not a professional artist, I'm not overly worried about having everything be light, fast, water resistant, all the stuff. I understand that it might be an issue if I want to seal it, do like a spray sealer, or sometimes the Posca pen will change colors, but it does that with the Prismacolors sometimes too. So, I don't know. It's pretty bad that Arteza is saying, yes, these are expert pencils, and then professional artists are using them. Yeah, that's not good. And they need to amend their label if they're going to have, professional artists be using these things that they've spent hours upon hours of work on, and then they're, one drop of water and it's ruined. So, but yeah, I'll continue to use my Artezas because it's just in my coloring books, and it's not a professional thing. What else? So lately I have not been liking anything I've colored. I've finished a buddy color with Camille Bell, and I'll link hers and Puni Puni Crafts YouTube pages below. But I did a buddy color with Camille, and then it just, everything that I've colored since then has been really frustrating me. Like, I haven't liked anything. I don't know. It's been really frustrating. So I'm hoping that this one does not act the same way for me. And that's kind of why I went back to my Prismacolors, because I'm comfortable with them. So, all right, I'm gonna attempt to give her some blonde hair. Just a little bit of dark every once in a while. Does anybody else do that, where you just have a whole chunk of time where you just, everything that you try to do doesn't work, or just doesn't look how you quite imagined it would? It's just really easy to get frustrated with that when that happens. I try not to let it get to me too much, but when I have those times where everything is turning out great, it's really hard to adjust to the times where nothing is turning out. For this, I'm just using a little bit of sand and sienna brown. I am going to bring some cream in and see if that kind of tones down that brown a little bit. I don't want it to be too dark. Just a really soft blonde. But I do want to show some shadows in places. I haven't seen these, the girlfriends that I went out with. I haven't been able to hang out with them. And oh gosh, I can't even remember the last time we all hung out. It was so fun. And I literally only had 2 beers. And I just can't drink very much alcohol anymore. I'm a little bummed out by that, but not overly. My priorities have definitely changed. Like, I don't need to go out and party and drink until I can't remember things. That's never been me, but I still enjoyed the tipsy feeling every once in a while. But now, and I don't know if it's just age or what it is, but I have had a few beverages recently in the past several months, and every time I drink, it just does not go well. I feel tired and like overly tired the next day. Lots of aches. So I'm thinking that that's gonna be over. Which my husband doesn't drink either, so that's not a big deal. It's not a huge part of our lives at all. So I'm not really concerned about it. I think that's turning out cute. All right, well that worked. Like, I just kind of picked a couple. I don't use this sand color very often, but it's a really good color for, especially for blonde hair. And these Prismacolors are working beautifully in this book. Oh, this is, I probably should have told you that. This is the Beyond the World Fairy Tales, or Beyond the Fairy Tale World, or however you say it, by Eriy. And this is one of my 10 books to color in 2021, so I'm excited that I am doing that right now. Let's see, what else? Oh, I did, so this week, there was a fun, I don't know, tag, I guess, going around on Instagram on the coloring on their stories, people's stories. And it was basically to say 8 random facts about yourself and then tag other people. Well, I hadn't been on Instagram for a little bit, so I kind of came late to the party. But so I didn't tag anybody else, but I was tagged by Camille, and it was a really fun thing to do and super fun to read all the ones about everybody else. So I thought I'd share those with you guys too. I thought about doing blue, but I've already got the blue door. The blue bird will be shaded enough that it's going to stand out from everything else. I thought about doing blue on her, but I don't think, maybe a blue bow and like blue in the apron. Let's color the apron first, because I know that that's going to be white, so I will get I've got a couple of grays. I've got a 20 and a 50 and my white. So 8 random facts about me. I am currently living without pets, which is super sad. It currently has been basically for the last, since I've gotten married. When I was growing up, I always had a cat or a dog, or sometimes multiples of each, and I loved my animals to pieces. And then when I got married and moved out, let me see, I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow right there. When I got married and moved out, I developed crazy allergies to cats and dogs, and I was pretty sad about it, but I was like, yeah, I can make this manageable. And then my husband said, well, I don't really want pets. And I said, what? Like, why did we not discuss this before we got married? And I was fine with it. And then we had kids, and I was like, well, the kids really need a pet. And he's like, I don't think so. And then my mom got some dogs. So I basically live vicariously through my mom, because she has 3 beautiful Great Pyrenees dogs, and I love them to pieces. But when I go over there, I have to, make sure I wash my hands and arms before I touch my face. Otherwise, it's just, I'm out. Like, I can't, my eyes water up, and it's pretty bad. I mean, I literally can't control the itching. And it's been every animal. My mother-in-law has cats. My sister-in-law, they have a dog and some cats. My aunt has some cats. It's like everybody has all of these cute animals, and I can't play with any of them. Which leads me to my second random fact, is I cannot take allergy medicine. So medicines have weird effects on me. They always have since I was little. I can't take anything that has, what is that, pseudoepinephrine, or I don't know, any allergy medicines, and a lot of cold medicines will almost immediately knock me out. I can't stay awake. I can't do anything when I take these medicines. It's like everything is NyQuil to me. Which really sucks, because I would take the medicine and I would finally fight my husband to let us get some pets. But the medicine, it wouldn't do what it was supposed to do. And I'm not really, I don't really like a lot of other animals. I'm not a fish person. I'm not into birds or lizards or snakes or anything like that, or gerbils or hamsters. Well, but you know, if that medicine would work for me, I would totally get pets. I try to avoid most medicines, actually, if I can manage it. I do have a couple of medications that I have to take, and luckily they don't knock me out. But there's still a little bit of a learning curve. I think I want to do a little bit of gray around this so it looks like there's a little bit of definition underneath these. Like maybe they're embroidered and they stick out a little bit from the fabric. I'm not sure if that's the effect that I'm giving, but that's what I want to do. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, so the next random fact I shared was that I love D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you that don't know what D&D is. I am a great big nerd. My whole family are nerds. My brother, I 100% blame my brother for this. He introduced me to it about, oh gosh, how many years ago now? I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe? Is it 8? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. But this show called Critical Role came on, and if you don't know what that is, it is an online D&D game where, I'm going to use the tagline from the show, a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. And it's basically just a stream of their game. And when it started, my brother just happened upon it, and then he started watching. He's like, Eriy, you have to watch this show. And I started watching, and I've been hooked ever since. And it is, and then we started playing a game at home too. So we had myself, my brother was the DM, which is the dungeon master or the game master. So he was kind of in control of the whole thing. And then my daughter played, my son played, I played. My husband that's not his nerd thing, but he enjoyed listening to us, I think. Okay, I'm just trying to decide what blue. I don't want to do like a super, I think I'm just going to do a really light blue for her. So let's do, keep looking at that powder blue and blue slate, but I don't want it to, no. I think I'm going to go in here. I'm going to grab the cloud blue. got that, and I'm gonna grab, I'm actually gonna grab the Blue Lake, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I like to play D&D. I like to watch D&D. I like to read about D&D. It's just so fun. And this show, it's reminiscent of like an old time, like radio soap opera almost, except there's people running around and killing monsters and dragons and doing magic. Because it's not like there's pictures to go along with what they're saying. It's all make-believe and pretend, and it's all in their heads, but they describe it in such a way that you can see what's happening. It's so fun. And then you get attached to their characters, and you get attached to any characters that you play, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. It's probably my most favorite thing to watch. I don't watch a whole lot of, I'm going to add in some cobalt blue here. I don't watch a lot of TV, so that's my go-to thing to watch. And they stream weekly, usually, and the episodes tend to be between 3 and 4 hours long. So it is a little bit of a time commitment when you want to watch it, but I usually, if you want to watch them live, they have that one episode that they do, and you can watch them live, but I usually watch it on video so I can spread out the chunks of the show to different days, because I can't stay up until 1 o'clock or whatever on a Thursday night to watch these guys play. But yeah, if you're at all interested in D&D and have not seen that show, check out Critical Role. It's so fun. Let's see what else. Next month, random fact number 4, next month I will have been married for 20 years, which is kind of mind-boggling to think about. It does not seem like it's been that long. My husband, I'm pretty sure he's the funniest person on earth. He makes me laugh every day, and has since we started dating, since we met even. So for the last, 25 years, maybe 24. He's awesome. Frustrating too. I mean, of course that's gonna happen, but still, even when I'm mad at him, he can say something and just make me laugh, and I'm pretty sure that's the secret to not only a good marriage, but happiness in general. I think he's probably one of the only reasons I'm not on some kind of medication for my mental health issues, because I can get that boost of serotonin or whatever it is that just kind of brings me out of it. Sorry, I have to turn the page here. Super thankful that is effective for me. But okay. Sorry, I'm focusing a little bit now on no, it's not my favorite how that one turned out. Okay, I'm going to do this little strip here. Let's see, random fact number 5. Did I say 5 before? Well, last one was 4. This one's 5. Random fact number 5 is I love Target. I feel like that's probably a lot of people's, I don't know, average. It's an average statement for a lot of people, especially here in the US. But I literally, if I go into that store, I cannot get out of there without spending at least $100 every time. And I'm going in for something simple like, I don't know, toilet paper and shampoo or something, but I can't just go and shop in there anymore. Thankfully, the app that they have does not have the same effect on me. So if I really want something from Target, I can go on the app and get it and have it delivered. But yeah, I don't know if it's something about, I think it's just being in the store, the way they display their stuff. I don't know. I love it though. A lot of my clothing comes from there. I'm not into fashion, like super expensive things. Most of my clothes are while they might look like they're in fashion, they're still from Target, which is fine. I'm not, I don't know. I don't need to spend a lot of money on clothes. I'd rather spend that money on coloring supplies, coloring pencils, coloring books. Let's see, random fact number 6. Another thing that I absolutely love. I love Michigan. And for those of you not from the U.S., the state of Michigan is surrounded by the Great Lakes, which is, they're some of the largest freshwater lakes, definitely in our country, but I think in the world too. I'm not sure. But I grew up literally on the shores of Lake Huron, and I miss it every single day, most especially in the summer when I can't get to a beach because I'm now in landlocked Indiana, and there's not a beach within, gosh, I don't even know how long it would take to 2.5, 3 hours to get to the closest beach. Like real beach, not like a tiny little beach on a inland lake, but like an actual beach. I think I was thoroughly spoiled growing up there because, I do... Someone said, let's go to the beach, and they took me to this tiny little thing with like a strip of sand. I said, this is not a beach. What are you talking about? But yeah, living on those lakes, it's like you're near the ocean because the lakes are so big, and you can't, and it's all fresh water, which is one nice thing. You can't see the other side, and they're beautiful, and I miss it all the time. Okay, let's see. Let's do some little green. Where are you? I'm just going to do some grass green in here. Let's see, random fact number 7. So I've always colored. My mom and my dad, I colored with them. I talked about this a little bit in my introduction video. I always colored with them when I was little, so coloring has always been one of my hobbies, but my other hobbies are scrapbooking and card making. And I have been doing those almost as long as I've been married, so maybe 20 years or so. I used to make cards for people without really realizing that there was a whole industry geared towards that. I would just, draw a picture and fold it up and give it to them or whatever. But when I am going to do I'm trying to keep to a limited color palette, so I'm going to do a little bit of red dots on, nope, that's not the one I want. Where are you? I'm going to do this permanent red. It's almost too orangey. That's okay. I think I'm going to do her stripes on her dress this color. I think. Let's see. Sorry, I'm going back and forth here. So I'm going to do the permanent red and a little bit of the Crimson Lake, I think. And that'll, and then maybe some Deco Peach to blend it a little bit. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, scrapping and card making. I have a ton of paper, just a ton. I have a whole corner of our basement that is set aside for my crafting area. So I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 things stacked tall, stacked full of paper, and then a couple other things randomly placed here and there. It's hard for me to get out of our hobby stores without leaving with a handful of paper. I used to work at, excuse me, I used to work at a store called Archivers, which was a scrapbooking store that was open here for a while. And it was, oh, I loved it so much. It was my favorite job I've ever had. And it was just, I've worked other retail jobs, but this one, really was the best because people actually wanted to be in there and wanted to be shopping there. So there was nobody that was grumpy and mean. So I really loved it. And of course, working there just made my habit even worse. Like, I was lucky if I brought home a paycheck with as much stuff that I was buying from the store as I was there, because you would see all the new stuff come in and you're like, ooh, I like this, I need it. Yeah, so I don't do as much now. I don't do as much scrapbooking or card making. I always make cards for Christmas, so I have a whole tote full of different Christmas stamps that I've gone through and used. And then a couple times a year, my friend and I will get together and do some scrapbooking, which got interrupted last year because of COVID. So we didn't do it in person. We did it online, and that was pretty fun. Not quite the same, but still pretty fun. Yeah. So if anybody's ever interested in seeing some scrapbook pages, I would love to share some of those with you guys too. I thought about starting a Instagram account just for scrapbooking, but it's not as popular as it used to be, and the industry is changing, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I still like to make them though, so my kids have them. So they have these. And I love to take pictures too, so I do have a lot of fun pictures of my kiddos. What else? Let's see. Oh, and then random fact number 8 is I love to read. So that would be my other hobby, like my hobby. And I like to read anything that is fantasy, science fiction. I don't care for horror, but it's the same in my movies. I can't do the horror. It just scares me too much, and it causes too much anxiety in me, and I can't deal with it. I don't really like how this is looking. So I'm just going to go over it with all of the red. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so anything science fiction or fantasy, mostly fantasy. And I like all kinds of fantasy. So I like the epic fantasy. I like urban fantasy. I like just straight fantasy books. I think there might be a category called paranormal fantasy maybe. But I really like all of that. I think, what do I want to do her top as? I think that's going to be white as well. Just so she kind of stands out from the background a little bit. I don't want to make it blue again. A few of my favorite authors are Brandon Sanderson, who has a couple of really good fantasy series. He's got a sci-fi book that he's written. He's got an epic fantasy, which I am currently making my way through right now. I'm in book 4 of it. It's the most recent one he's released, and he's just such a good writer. Makes you love these people that he's created. And then another one that I love is Jim Butcher. He has a fantasy series about a wizard named Harry Dresden, which had a short-lived TV show for a little bit, but that didn't last very long. It wasn't the greatest, but it was still fun to watch. And then and it's just, he's got that series. He's got another series that's more of a fantasy, just like an epic fantasy kind of series called, I think the series is called The Furies of Calderon. I can't remember exactly, but that one I would highly recommend. It's really good. And then he's got a steampunk series that he just started, but I have not seen. I've only read the first book. I don't know if there's another one out currently, but it's really interesting, really cool. It's like a sci-fi steampunk kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see, another artist. Nope, another author. Another author I love. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Yeah. I'm going to do her little boots here. Let's see. We want to do them... I kind of want to do them yellow. Is that weird? I don't know. I kind of want to do them yellow. No, I'm just going to do them brown. Boring brown. Sorry. Let's see, who else? Oh, another artist is Alana Andrews. It's a husband and wife writing team, and they are ridiculously good. Any series by them is just fantastic. My favorite is the Kate Daniels series, but I really do like everything that I've read from them. Yeah, and then every once in a while I'll read a historical romance, but it needs to have a sense of humor. Like, I don't go for the gothic drama, crazy, I don't know. I don't go for that stuff. I need something that's going to make me laugh, but also have a little bit of romance in it too. So for that reason, Julia Quinn is one of my favorite authors in that genre. And I was super stoked about the new Bridgerton series on Netflix. Ugh. So excited when that came out, and I binge watched it. It was so good. But yeah. So there's some random facts about me, and we got through coloring this cute little girl. This cute little Thumbelina. I think we are done for today. I might really quick do a little bit of blending on this I'm gonna bring in, I don't even know what color this is. This is my short little, I think this is like beige, or yeah, I think this is beige. Just to blend that out a little bit better. Okay, there she is. So I hope you enjoyed the little color and chat today, and I thank you so much for watching. If you have not done that tag on Instagram, consider yourself tagged. I said the same thing on my Instagram stories, but I love to see those things from everybody. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm at Elm Colors, just like here. I'd love to see your pages and get a chance to chat with you, and yeah. So I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.